Carles Puyol, a man more than a leader and a legend of Barcelona. An iconic figure in defense, a symbolic player always full of passion but has always followed fair play. The Milan legend Barresi puts it best. Puyol puts his face where most people wouldn't even put their boot. 15 years, 21 titles and a legacy to match, Carles Puyol's career has seen him take home 3 Champions League winner medals, 6 La Liga titles, 2 Copa del Reys, 2 UEFA Super Cups and a World Cup. I don't have Romario's technique, Marc Overmars' pace or Kluivert's strength, but I work harder than the others, Carles said. I'm like the student who's not as clever but studies for his exam and does okay in the end. This quote sums up this incredibly hardworking, down-to-earth, hairy bloke from the small town of La Pobla de Segur in Catalonia. When Puyol came off the bench during the 1999-2000 season, a period when Barcelona was struggling, many weren't quite sure what to make of him. With a mop of curly hair, polite demeanor and above all, being an introvert, Puyol did not fit the stereotype of a footballer, much less a leader. Growing up, his idol has always been the huge Italian defender Paolo Maldini, whom he watched closely and who he mainly admired for his ability to predict every phase and read the game. Puyol copied many of Maldini's moves and thus improved his tactics and defensive duties. His friends and teammates called him a guerrero, in other words, a warrior. Puyol was the man who motivated his teammates. He was the pillar of Barca's defense line, the portrait of Messi One Club, and that was the reason why everyone suggested him as the leader immediately after the departure of Luis Enrique, since he had not yet lifted a single trophy. Although short for a centre-back and not the fastest, he was commanding on both ground and in the air. There was always plenty of aggression and full commitment, but Puyol was not a dirty player, being sent off only twice in his whole career. In 2007, there was a misunderstanding between Eto'o, Rijkaard and Ronaldinho. Eto'o was angry after Rijkaard said that Eto'o refused to come as a sub against Racing Santander. Ronaldinho also quoted regarding the issue that team always comes first. Eto'o misinterpreted Dino's comments and got furious. However, Puyol decided to sort these issues out, having a talk with both Eto'o and Ronaldinho, and it worked perfectly. Puyol said, Eto'o was the first player in the dressing room at 8:45 am, and we spoke to him and Ronaldinho because it was an important enough matter to talk over together. He carried a serious attitude when he was on the pitch. He kept the team's aims and objectives in his mind so he can make sure that his teammates doesn't neglect them. He recognized that concentration, whether winning or losing, was an important thing to achieve team's aim. We all remember the lighter incident at Bernabeu in El Clasico. One of tricks that some teams always do against their opponent is provoke fights, just to get the concentration away from the game. Puyol knew that. He threw away the lighter and asked Piqué to take up his position, then fretting over it. After the game, he said that these are normal things. We should get over them and focus on the game. Carles Puyol's conduct on the pitch is an example for all. Puyol was against all sorts of misbehavior, fights and violence on the pitch. He kept away from such acts and urged his teammates to stay away from them too. He once got slapped by Ballesteros. Ronaldinho rushed to confront Ballesteros, but Puyol pulled him away. He let go Ballesteros, who hit him to show his teammates to ignore violence. In 2011-12 season, Dani Alves and Thiago were dancing as a celebration for a goal, which was offensive for Rayo fans. Puyol saw that and interrupted their celebration. He asked them to return to their half so the game can be restarted. Puyol knew how to look over his fellow players and make them feel special. It was 2010 edition of Gamper Trophy. A legend in the face of Ronaldinho was returning to the Camp Nou. Puyol didn't let go the opportunity to throw a small tribute. He called Ronaldinho for the team photo. We won the trophy, but Puyol offered it to Ronaldinho as a souvenir. He accepted it while thanking fans at Camp Nou for the love and support. Abidal defeated Cancer to play UCL final at home. Puyol gave tribute to both Abidal and Tito Villanova after they fought against Cancer by offering them to lift La Liga 2012-13 trophy. My generation and those that come after do not know what the club will be like without Puyol in defense, branding the captain's armband, PK wrote. Nothing will ever be the same. By your side, I felt protected. You were my guiding angel. Thanks for everything, Puy. There's been a void in the shape of Carles Puyol ever since he left. The man who sweats in Blaugrana, a man who demanded the very best from those around him, as nothing else would have sufficed. A resilient man who sacrificed himself for a chase to prove what he was made of. Heart, soul, and courage. That's what lies behind those curls and sunken eyes. Carles Puyol is a footballer like no other, a leader of men, a culé through and through, a proud Catalan who took Spain to the highest heights and was a mentor to everyone around him. The game misses him still, but we can see Puyol's influence in it every now and then if you look close enough. To this true legend of the game, we say, gracias.